fruit in pizza. That's my grievance. If you order fruit on pizza.
Well, remember.
I know tomatoes are fruit.
Right. I got you. I was going to get you.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.
Episode 51 of Charred New Haven Pizza Show. What's going on? It's Kevin Begley, Frank Zabsky. We are in 2026. No more Happy New Year.
Nope, that's done.
But we can celebrate Pizzavus that we've created.
Pizzavus for the rest of us.
Right. So if you're familiar, I know you're not a big Seinfeld fan, but Festivus comes from one of those episodes.
100%.
Where they air their grievances, and it's the holiday that they create. Was it George's dad? I think it was George's dad in the show who created it. Festivus for the rest of us is when we air our family grievances.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things about Festivus because I looked it up, and it was obviously to celebrate that time of the year where people who were like aren't Catholic or aren't this or aren't that.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like this big culmination of end of the year,
all
Christmas, New Year's, holidays,
one.
And then you get all the things out that bothered you the whole year out.
Right. So that's what we're going to do this episode. We're going to air our pizza grievances. Pizzavus. Pizzavus for the rest of us.
Exactly.
So I think we should start. I have a couple I could air out, pizza related, but I think we should start with you because if you follow us on the New Haven Pizza Group Facebook page and our social media, you probably saw a couple little feisty back and forth conversations going on.
Rumblings.
Frank was getting into the mud a little bit in the comments.
Yeah, I probably went to places that I shouldn't have gone, but it happens every once in a while.
So what happened? Start us off with give us the backstory to what happened.
So before I give you the backstory, I want to give you the front story.
Okay.
And the front story is, as I've been in this kind of crazy pizza world, really pretty hard for the last 5 years or so, my thing has always been supporting local business.
Yeah.
Specifically supporting the hidden gems. So I love Sally's. And I love Pepe's, and I've spent a lot of time on there. But they obviously, through their own accord, get a lot of, publicity, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, my thing has always been support the local people. Some people that know me personally know that probably not. I'll call it the most positive person, or I have my moments of not being particularly positive.
Yeah.
But when it comes to pizza, I try to stay as positive as I can.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, because it's very easy to find the little idiosyncrasies and nooks and crannies in anyone, regardless of what they do. I mean, you're a professional, DJ or whatever they call it in 2026, but and you're smooth and you're good on the air and you don't do a lot of ums and ooms like I do. But every once in a while, I'm sure you have a bad day.
Oh, yeah. Everyone has, say something wrong on the air. Don't turn the mic on. Yeah, there's always little mistakes here and there. Yeah.
Right. And so kind of where I'm leading this to is the thing that really bothers me with people who do pizza reviews and just reviews in general, or now the thousands and thousands of pizza people that review just for fun.
Yeah, there's so many now.
Yeah. And I get it because I used to do it on some level. It seems to be that everyone just picks all these pizzerias apart.
Like they're looking for the things to criticize and not the positive things.
Correct. Like, there'll be comments about the sauce line and the cheese line, and I wanted more cheese and I wanted more toppings, and the pizza was round and it was square and it was this and it was that, and I'm like, really? And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these people that are making pizzas are making hundreds, if not thousands, a day.
And also, pizza's not a perfect food. So when it comes to being an exact circle or the sauce line, like it's not perfection every time. That's part.
Right.
That's part of the beauty of it.
This leads me to illustration number one.
Nice. You brought props.
So this here is a postcard.
Okay.
And I collect a lot of pizza things. Obviously, this is not pizza. This is spaghetti. Take a look at it.
Okay, yeah. Sharing along from the same plate.
The essence of this Italian food that we love, and I'm going to put pizza and spaghetti together because really they kind of went hand in hand,
Yeah.
was that it was a street food. in New York City, turn of the century, in, Naples, in a lot of these Italian enclaves, both in the United States and in Italy, it was a food that was basically made on the street, literally boiled on the street, baked on the street. And this is how people ate it. If you can see that they're eating it with their hands.
Yeah. Just
spaghetti with their hands.
From the plate. Yeah.
Nothing was perfect. Nothing was perfectly dished. And it's like you're missing the whole essence
the whole point,
of
right.
this incredible food. So that bothers me, and it bothers me a lot, and I get into a lot of trouble kind of defending pizzerias for not having the perfect pizza. So what I did over the holiday weekend, so to speak, is I created this, and I'm gonna show you what this is. You can put it up to there.
I'll do a dramatic reading of it. Imagine every day at work, you are under the microscope for every move you make, everything you produce or sell, every interaction, and then all your daily imperfections are put on local and social media for all to see, comment, and share. Now, pretend you are a pizzeria owner in 2026. Think before you post or comment. New Haven Pizza School.
Right.
It's a good message.
It is. So I got my you know whated for that.
And there's and you got your face like you're a little like,
yeah,
see, I'm telling you.
And
make the face, make that face. There we go.
So, like with everything else, there was a lot of people who were very supportive, and the people that weren't supportive were not supportive at all.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, we grew up in the United States. We have free speech. We can say what we want. We can do what we want. And all that is 100% true. I never, ever want to tell anyone not to voice your opinion.
Yeah.
But as my mother always used to say, Frankie, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And I will tell you straight up, I'm in pizza confession, that there was a time in my life, probably about 15, maybe 20 years ago, that I posted some Google reviews that I'm not proud of. I wasn't in that mindset of, well, what is this actually going to do to the business that I'm posting on?
Right, or putting yourself in their shoes as the pizza owner or the pizzeria, yeah.
Yeah. So there's this thing in the business world called the market, and the market is basically a bunch of people who buy products and services. And the thought process here is that let the market do its work.
Yeah.
Like for pizza, if you don't have good pizza, more than likely, I don't care where you are,
You're not going to last.
you're not going to last. If you don't have good Italian food, if you don't have good Chinese food, I know you like Chinese food.
New Year's
from the
Eve.
last episode, you're just not going to last. And so my thought process is, if you have something good to say, post it on social media. If you don't have anything good to say, talk to the owner or management and let it sit there.
Now, that being said, are there pizzerias that maybe could use a little feedback, maybe there's a pizzeria that is doing something wrong, and there's probably a better way to do it than just leaving like a nasty comment or a bad review or something like that. Like you said, maybe talking to a manager or doing something like that. Because I'm sure it's not like every pizza place is doing it perfectly and everyone's just complaining,
Yeah, and I don't want people to think that like, I don't get $1 from any of these pizzerias. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I don't get any money from anyone.
Right.
I have no skin in the game other than my pizza school.
Right.
So, to your point, if you have a problem and you're at the pizzeria and you get a pizza that comes out, and I've seen it because it's happened to me. Sometimes, like the whole top of the pizza will be slid over to one side or another.
It's too hot and it slides over.
And so basically they took the pizza out of the oven. They wanted to get it to your table really quick. They put it on the pan and the pan tilted a little bit and all the sauce and cheese slid over one side. So they took it on the other side and it looks like a pile of you-know-what. And I'm not saying that is the good thing, but like, just ask for another pizza. Most of these pizzeria owners are sole proprietors, meaning they're just, they just own the pizzeria, and they're going to fix it for you.
And they'd want to hear about it if something went wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not saying don't give constructive feedback, but don't give it online.
Right.
Have the you-know-whats to go to the owner, to go to management and say, hey, listen, I don't like this. I want it this way, whatever the case might be. Or maybe you got a bad server or waiter. All those things can be fixed. But going on social media and blasting people is not particularly
Right.
one of them. So my own personal experience over the weekend. So obviously I have a pizza school.
Yep.
And I had like a record number of gift cards that I sold this year, over 300.
Nice.
Which was amazing. But I got my share of what I'm talking about. I've run a bunch of ads, and I do a lot of Facebook ads and Google ads, around this time.
Yeah.
And so I got one here. We're not going to mention the person's name, but she saw one of my ads, and her response was, "That's not a school. Anyone can toss beets and throw toppings on it. I want to learn how to make the dough and the sauce. That's education." Well, if this person spent any time at all, like 10 seconds of time going on my website or clicking any one of the buttons.
Or the video. You have a bunch of videos on
Right.
it. Yeah.
And that's all that I do.
Right.
And I even give people a cheat cup so that if they don't want to weigh anything, they just put the water in there and the flour in there, and it basically mixes
Wait, what did
itself.
she say? She wants to know how to make what? Anyone can throw toppings. I want to learn how to make the dough and the sauce. But you do that in the class.
Right. So here's an example of someone who took something, and clearly she knew that I was advertising to sell something.
Yeah.
And put something negative on about my school and about me. And I think it's crappy.
Right. And, you did respond. I was going to say,
Yeah, I did respond. And my response was that...
but I feel like the response could also be like that you actually do that. Like, hey, sign up for a class. Unless she already did. I don't know. But
yeah, I wasn't that crafty.
I just like I like the first one. That's not a school. Like you're trying to be some real college or university or something. That's not a school.
Right. And so it gets even better because on the same post, I have now a marketing expert come online, and they say, "I work in digital marketing, and this is a good example of why business owners shouldn't handle their own public-facing marketing, whether the original point is valid or not," which it's obviously not. "The tone of this response is aggressive and off-putting. Public reactions like this can trust clients." Bottom line is, I didn't ask you for your opinion on my response, and it bothers me. My blood pressure's already going up.
I don't know. Sounds like you're being a little aggressive and off-putting. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I can be.
But you're right. Like if you put up a post that said, "Hey, I'm trying to, I want your feedback on my digital marketing."
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, clearly your school has been successful, so it's not like it's not working. That it would be one thing, like she said, like this doesn't work. Like, well, it is working because you sold all these classes and you have a successful business for years now. Now, I work in digital marketing. The other part of me thinks she's just trying to get another client. Like, hey, if you need help with your digital marketing, here I am. Like, I can help you be more professional and help you out. Let's book an appointment.
And I think if she was smarter, what she would have done is contacted me offline and said, "Hey,
yeah, I see where you're coming from." Yeah,
right. Her putting that on, A, is not helping me, and B, kind of makes her look like a fool because she didn't do any research into what I do.
Right.
And Kevin, you've known me for a while. I'm a pretty humble guy, but when I got to bring my spreadsheet out, I do.
Yeah.
And so I speak nationally. I speak at Pizza Expo. I'm a judge of pizza. My pizza classes are booked out 2-3 months in advance. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's not like I haven't been successful. I've actually been really successful.
Right. Now, I will say it's so true. The positive person in me goes to the other comments, which is actually on this printout right here. I know for a fact that your class is worthy of the title it has. I learn techniques and I use and every pie is perfect at home.
Yep.
So anytime for every negative comment you get, you're going to get the positive comments coming below it because people know if that wasn't the case, if you were just putting toppings on a pizza in your class, people would say it, So like the fact that people are actually commenting these positive comments kind of shows. And to be honest, it's just propping up, going back to her digital marketing. She should know this. It's all these comments are just propping up your Facebook page
The algorithm.
because the algorithm doesn't care if it's negative or positive. They just say, wow, this post has a bunch of replies and a bunch of comments, like they're gonna feed it to more people. So it's just helping your New Haven Pizza School Facebook page.
Yeah.
That's the irony. That's the irony when people leave negative comments, is it's just helping the person that they're being negative towards,
My daughter and I like to go thrifting. This is a side story, but quick. So every once in a while, we go down the shoreline, Clinton, Madison, Guilford. They're all over. These thrift shops are all over the place. So we went to this thrift shop in Clinton, and right next door was this Italian deli, and I known about it, and I wanted to go in there for a while. So I went in there with my daughter, and it was the traditional Italian deli, and the food was good, but I'd never been there before.
Yeah.
So I walk up to the counter, and there's this guy, and I said, well, do you have grinders, wraps, hard rolls? And he looks me dead in the eye, and he goes like this.
Like pointing to the menu?
Pointing to the menu. I'm like, dude, you can't answer the question.
Right, just be a human once.
Right. And then I asked for a roll, and I got a grinder. So my daughter, who obviously I love, she gets a little bit concerned about me because sometimes I come out of my shell a little bit and I tell people how I feel.
Yeah.
But because she was there and knowing that I shouldn't do that for many reasons, when I got home after I cooled down, I sent a message to the owner of the place and I said, listen, I'm not going to go on social media. I'm not going to post this so everyone can see. But you need to know that the guy that you got behind the counter, he's not good with people.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know if he's your son, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, but he shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And I told them exactly what happened. And then they responded back to me, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We've told him about this before, even though he's probably still going to do the same thing. But the point being is, that's how I handled it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to do it. You're right. That's the way to... How was the grinder?
It was good.
Honest opinion?
Yeah, it was, 7.5, 8 out of 10.
But you're right. That's the way to do it. And I think the owner would appreciate that. That you sent it directly to him and not aired it out. The other thing I was going to say about these comments is that it's always the negative comments that are going to stick out more than the positive ones. So like you're going to get this, and one person commenting. I always say this about people who like call the radio station or people who, leave a comment on our post and all that. Yeah, I know it's hard, but you can't let one negative comment get under your skin, because think about how many people listen to the radio, how many people listen to the podcast, how many people go to your Facebook page, how many people see these posts. Just think about yourself. Like, how many times have you left a negative comment on someone's post? Not that often, at least I haven't. But I've looked at posts a bunch. Like for everyone who leaves a comment, it's like in the very minority of people who are seeing your post or commenting.
Yeah. So I agree with you 100%. And to your point, I got 2-3 bad comments, and I probably got 95%. Frank's amazing. I've been to his class, blah, 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 blah. And I call it the sore toe theory, where you've got this whole body and you really got, 2 big toes in your foot, and you've got one that is a sore and it kind of takes over the rest of your body.
Yeah.
And so I always say, the perfect storm is when logic and emotion hit.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happens. Plus, I'm 23% Italian, and there's a saying, so to speak, in Italian, you're dead to me. And that's when someone does something that is unforgivable. And so, the Italian every once in a while comes out.
So what's this last one? Is this another comment?
So this is a comment. This is, I posted something on not a deep dish, a Detroit pizza enthusiast group.
Okay.
And this guy here, who's never met me, posts, I'm good, man. I don't need philosophy on how to form a pizza. And he basically...
Wait, so you're on the opposite end of it now. So you left a message on somebody else's Facebook page about Detroit style. Now this is the guy who runs the page?
So no, this isn't the guy who runs the page. This is a guy that I actually kicked off my Facebook group for New Haven style pizza.
Oh, man.
Because he was coming on there basically saying that our pizza stinks, it's burnt, it's this, it's that.
Yep.
And so when I posted on this group, he recognized who I was.
Oh, okay. So it's a little bit of a little history there.
Right, a little history there. And he just, you could tell, there's paragraphs of what he wrote about how bad I am and the pizza and the group.
So
and
what was the comment you left on the Detroit though? Like, what'd you say?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, yeah, I don't need philosophy on how to burn a pizza. So talking about the New Haven style.
Yeah, so I think I posted something that I was getting into Detroit pizza and this and that, and I posted a couple of examples of my pizza, and then when he figured out, I think he started out with, and that was just one of the things.
Yeah.
This is a New Haven pizza group. You can't, or I think he said I censored him or something like that when he came on, and it was just like, it was all negative.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be negative people out there. That's true. But that and you can tell he's like responding to all these different things that you said.
But it was
that's just your pizza like Facebook comment rival right there.
What about you? You got any grievances?
I got some grievances. They're not as online as yours, and I guess they're not as dramatic. I just have like pizza world things that kind of bug me all the time. So not one of them. I feel like we talk about it a lot when people say a pizza.
Oh,
so instead of saying a beats,
drives me
So
nuts.
like they always say like, oh yeah, the pizza, or they do it even on like the news. Like,
oh yeah.
So like you would think as a news reporter that they would actually research it a little bit. But because especially now that New Haven style pizza is getting some national recognition and some publicity, there'll be some, whether it be on one of the Sunday morning shows or whatever it is, and they're like, oh, and then they went to Sally's a Pizza, or like whatever. I'm like, okay, like do one Google search just to see how to pronounce it.
Yeah. It immediately, whatever they're going to say, I don't even want to listen to, because if they're reporting on something and they can't pronounce it correctly, I'm done.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm half joking.
Another grievance is people who defend the pineapple on the pizza. We talk about the pineapple a lot.
Yeah.
I sort of get someone, I forget who it was now, someone explained it to me why they like it. And it made a little bit of sense because they were saying that the acidity of the pineapple, and they get bacon with it, like with the bacon, like the flavor profile together. Like it was actually a pretty good explanation.
Yeah.
And I was like, I still can't with fruit on pizza. That fruit in pizza, that's my grievance. If you order fruit on pizza.
Well, remember.
I know tomatoes are fruit.
Right. I got you. I was going to get you.
Tomatoes are fruit. Different. I keep that out of it because of the sauce and all of. I mean like sweet, juicy fruits like that, like oranges and pineapples. There's just no place. Have it for dessert. Have it as a fruit cup.
It's a big West Coast thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. And because it's a Hawaiian pizza, right? Isn't that like a?
Yeah.
When people order Hawaiian pizza, it's like the bacon and pineapple.
I think I researched this once, and I think actually it was started in Canada.
Oh.
Someone put like Canadian bacon and pineapple.
Yep.
I could be wrong. Maybe I'll research that again, but I'm pretty sure that's actually where it started. But obviously, it's big. It's really big mid country and out west.
Yep.
And I've had it before. I would have it again. It's nothing that I would order.
Yeah.
It's
now,
just that simple.
My third grievance, and I know a lot of people do this, my grandmother included, and she, actually when I was a kid, there was a funny story. I just visited my grandmother. She's in her 90s now.
Wow.
And so we were talking about this story over New Year's when we were up there.
Chinese food too, or no?
No. She's getting up there. She can't have like these, she can't have fried Chinese food.
Sure.
But we were talking about how one time she was watching my sister and I, my parents went out, and she was babysitting us, and we ordered pizza, and she was using the paper towel to like blot the grease, on the pizza slice. And when the next day I told my mom, I was like, you'll never believe what Nana was doing to the pizza. She was putting a napkin on it. And now to this day, I think that kind of like stuck in my head. And anytime I see someone do that, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, so my whole thing with it is if you're, I get it. Some places do have a really greasy pie, and I tend to not like that either. But if you're making the decision to go get pizza, Hey, some people think the grease is the best part. Like you gotta go all in. You gotta have what they prepare. Like you can't be out there. Not to mention, it makes this huge mess. You got the napkins all ruined now, and it's all over the plate, all over the table. Yeah, you gotta go in. If you're making the decision to have pizza, you're going all in. Grease, char, all of it. It's getting messy. Like we're gonna get messy. Pizza's a messy food.
So where I grew up in West Haven, and we went to Mike's and Zupardi's a lot. One of the big things was it's called in the Italians, it's not being particularly, although I think it's pretty Italian, is you mop up.
Yeah.
So the last, like, if you got the bones or the crust, some people don't like the bones. I love the bones, but you'd always save a bone or two. And then the pizzas are obviously mostly brought out on these aluminum trays. Well, there's grease and there's toppings that fall on the plate and there's little pieces of cheese, and you take the crust and you scoop them all together, you put it together, you make a sandwich, you mop up. But the point being is you got to have the oil on the plate to mop it up with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the oil and the grease, that's part of the flavor profile of the slice. You gotta have that.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one more last pet peeve.
Okay, last one.
And we can cut this out if it doesn't work.
Grievances.
And that's why I put it on the end. It really bothers me. And I'm not even going to mention this person's name because he aggravates me so much. There's a new guy here in Connecticut. And if you know anything about candy, there's a candy called M&M's. You'll figure that out. He killed Jimmy Zabitz.
Wait, he's like a reviewer? Like
he's
a pizza reviewer?
And he is someone that I'm really upset with. Obviously.
What was his main thing?
He tore the whole thing up. It's floppy. It's not pizza. It's soggy. It's this. It's that. And it's just like, dude, you have no idea that these people make a living doing this. And I know you're trying to be funny, but you're not.
Trying to get views. Dude,
It really, everything about people that do reviews and influencers, he's horrible.
All right. And we love Jimmy's. I mean, Jimmy's has a legitimate, great pizza. I mean, unbelievable pizza.
Even if you don't like their pizza, they're really good people.
And I know you don't like that guy, and I know you don't like Portnoy, but I'm a big Portnoy fan. He went to Jimmy's, gave it a very high score. I think it was in the 8s or like a 7.9. It was pretty high. Now, regardless of what you think of him, he's the one who started it all. Yeah. So if he gave it a good score.
But my thing with Portnoy, without getting too deep, I have a lot of respect for Portnoy.
Yeah.
And he earned what he's got.
And there's a lot of copycats now who are just trying to, get the views or do the same thing.
This kid here just ripped them, and multiple other places. And it's like, Portnoy can do it, and even as bad as Portnoy is, he is somewhat reasonable and professional.
I think he gives legitimate, honest opinions on the pizza. He's not just doing it to be, get a view or be crazy or.
No, he's past that. He doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Right. So we love Jimmy, and again, like we always say, supporting local pizzerias is what we're all about. Like, you don't need to go tear down these places. Like, even if you didn't like the pizza, I get it, but it also is he's trying to get views. That's definitely what
and the fact that we're talking about it on our show,
probably, Well, we didn't say who it was,
right? It works for him, but I'm just telling you that it's no good, and you got to really. Think about what you're doing.
All right, there we go. We aired our grievances. You had a lot pent up, and do you feel better?
A little bit, yeah.
All right, there we go. Pizzavus, our annual Pizzavus. We'll do it every year. This is over now for this year. All right, that is episode 51. Remember, follow us everywhere: social media, YouTube, podcast. Tell your friends. And remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred, baby.